Hello everyone, welcome back. And this lesson actually I'm going to start a new session in our course where we are going to try to cover digital certificates and the encrypted connection between our services. And so basically we have authenticated ourselves here, our user in our gateway. However, we still need to be able to establish a secure connection between our services. So we're going to have a service-to-service authenticated connection. And we will have also from our browser to our services, we will need to have a HTTPS or a TLS connection, or XL as well. It's an old name for this technology. Now you need, the correct name is TLS, right? So it's a transport layer secure connection with the web service. So to start it, just to trying to illustrate first what you're going to be looking at. So we have our browser here. Let's take Miro as an example. And we have a HTTPS connection here, right? Which means that all the data that I'm sending from my browser to the web server on the Miro, it is encrypted. And how this encryption happens, it is through digital TLS, right? So everything that I'm sending from the browser, it's actually encrypted and with the Miro public key, and then sent over the internet and decrypted on the other side with the private key. Right? So just to give you an example, so here Miro, we have here a connection which it is secure. And if you open the certificate, it's saying that it's valid here. If you get more information about the certificate, we can see that we have a certificate that is issued to Miro.com, right? So the first thing that they will be guaranteeing here that this website that we are accessing is actually Miro.com. And this was signed by a certificate authority that is Amazon RSA, right? So this can get more details about certificate. So you can see that here the Miro was signed by a Amazon RS, and the Amazon RS was actually signed with the root certificate, which is Amazon CA. And that is a practice that we need to always keep in mind, that we have our authority, the root certificate authority would actually sign a intermediate certificate authority that would be issuing certificates for us, because we want to keep this root certificate very secure and not touch it very often. Okay. We'll have something similar on our architecture. We'll have our root certificate authority, and we would actually enable a intermediary certificate authority to issue certificate to all our services. This process will be covered hands-on. I'm going to show step by step. But for now, let's have a look on another example here. So JSON Web Token, for example, we have another certificate here, which is GWT.io. And the issue was actually Google Trust Services. And how another question that we might raise now is how our browser knows these certificate authorities, and how the browser know about certificate authority. It is because we have public certificate of those authorities in our trust store, or how it call on the browser here, it's called root store. So you can see that we have here a list on if you go to, let me just show you so you can do the same on your side. If you open settings and do search for search, you're gonna be security, and in security you're gonna see manage certificates, right? And then on manage certificate you're gonna see your local certificate and Chrome root certificate. This Chrome root certificate will contain a list of trusted certificate authority, right? And you can see here Amazon that you saw before. if you see, we don't have Google here, right? Because this certificate was issued by Google, right? But Google, it is only the intermediate certificate authority, intermediary. You can see that there is here we one that generate there. And GTF is the root certificate, right? This organization name here, it is not actually the issue, but this is the issue. But if you search this on our certificate authority list, we don't have it. And why we don't have it is because this is an intermediary, and what you need to search it for GTS. And let's see, GTS. And you can see that GTS appear in our list. That's why you are able to verify this certificate. Now, let's try to understand a little bit how the process works with this diagram, right? So we have our client here, which it's my browser. We have the server, which it is the mirror, for example, mirror.com server. And you have the certificate authority here, which it is, for example, Amazon. And how the process works. So when you are installing your website, you need to have the certificate installed here in your server. But in order to have the certificate, you need to first issue a certificate sign request to the certificate authority, and then the certificate authority will send you a public and private keys, which will contain basically the certificate. It will be the certificate and a private key for it. And every time the browser access the server, you will be sending to the browser your public key. Basically, you'll be sending your certificate and this certificate will contain the public key and identity and some other information. As you can actually see here, that you have many informations about this certificate. So how it was signed, for how long it is valid, and so on and so forth. So a lot of information here. And you have the public key itself as part of the certificate. So our certificate, it is actually a file that contains the public key and some other information about the identity of the server. This is basically, so then we had the server sends the certificate to the client, and the client need to validate this certificate against the domain that is trying to access, right? So how you validate that? It is actually validate the certificate against the list of authority that you have local. So we basically retrieve the right certificate authority and use it to validate the certificate sent by the server. We are going to see all this process in detail, and you're going to actually simulate all this process, so this will make more sense later. Another important thing that happens on this process, there is two main things that HTTPS does, right? Encrypt the message, as I said. So when you put your credit card details on the browser, it is encrypted with the public key and decrypted in the other side with the private key, right? Another thing that it's happened as well is like your browser is able to confirm that the website identity, it is correct. So if you are typing amazon.com, you are sure that you are actually reaching the Amazon web server, because the web server is able to send a valid certificate, which you will not have if it is not the right server. So if you are redirecting, let's say you are typing amazon.com and you are redirecting to another service for whatever attack it's being used, you will not be able to have that certificate. Okay, so that's two main things. It is important to mention that we can extend that idea of private key and public key digital certificates into other areas, right? So we don't need to use that only with the HTTPS requests, but you can also use in other type of communication. For example, email. If you want to send a file to another client and that through email, you can just use that idea of encrypting the document with a private key, sending through the network via email, and then just use requesting to the receiver to use the public key to decrypt it and do the same if you need to send it back to the email back to who you original send the documents. This idea, it is vastly used on to communicate through the internet, and you can even use your certificates to authenticate into a system that is not very much used. So that's why we're not going to cover it here, but keep in mind that this idea of having a digital signature through a certificate, it can be extended in multiple ways, not only on this HTTP or request connection. Okay, so I hope everything made sense. We are gonna, as I said, I'm gonna be showing this in detail, the whole process, and we're gonna have our hands dirty because you're gonna implement everything from scratch, this whole flow here, and everything is gonna make much more sense. Thank you very much, and see you in the next lecture.